You know, there are a variety of reasons for being out on a day like today. You might be cross-country skiing or just taking a walk or admiring the scenery here at the woods and the water. You're saying, hey, it's so cold out there, I'll bet Mike's teeth are chattering. Well, you're absolutely right. But you know, the thing is, I'm really out here to take some pictures. You might have guessed that. It's about 19 degrees right now, and I've got my camera, but you say, where? Well, it's right underneath my jacket. I haven't gained a few pounds. My camera is being protected because, like me, my camera won't last very long out here in these cold temperatures without a little bit of protection. Now, you can take some pictures in these cold, extreme temperatures like this, but you do have to take a few precautions to get your pictures to turn out right. Just look at the beautiful scenery out here. A great picture wherever you look. But I think I'm going to keep my camera inside of my coat until I'm ready to take some of those great pictures. Why is that? I mean, why does your camera care how cold it is out here? It's not really the camera that cares how cold it is, it's the battery. Now, sometimes even if you've got a brand new battery in your camera, and remember, you ought to change it about once a year, sometimes that brand new battery might just react like it's an old, dead battery. Why? Well, let's take a look at how a battery works. A battery is designed to put out a certain amount of energy at a certain temperature. You lower that temperature, you're going to lower the output of the battery. You lower the temperature more and more, I mean it gets colder and colder, you're going to lower the output of that battery more and more until it appears almost dead. Now don't worry about that battery. When you warm it back up, it'll be all right again, but it's not going to do you a bit of good out here when that great picture comes up and you want to snap it off and you've got an ice cold battery. So where's that camera and battery going to stay? It's going to stay inside of my coat until I'm ready to use it. What else can you do if you're worried about losing a great shot to cold batteries? Well, you might think you keep an eye on the power by checking the battery every time you get ready to take a shot. Don't do that. I'll tell you why. Because every time you check the power of your battery, you're using up more power than it takes to shoot 15 or 16 pictures. Obviously, that is not the answer. You can't afford to do that. What you can afford to do, plan ahead. When you know you're going to head out on a cold day, stop by, pick up an extra set of camera batteries, and keep them close to your body. I'm keeping them in my back pocket so they stay warm. I'd be afraid to keep them in my coat pocket because I think they might get too cold. So if the worst happens and your batteries go dead on you, you've always got some... Walter Storck is expecting some people over for a very special meal. I don't think he's going to have any trouble finding something for them to drink out of. He's got wine glasses, water glasses, milk glasses, punch glasses, about any kind of glass you could think of. I think he'll find something for them to drink out of. And dishes, and dishes, and dishes. They're all clean and ready to go. And there are enough tablecloths and placemats here for quite a crowd. With all this incredible array of stuff, it looks like Walter's going to have about 8,000 people over for lunch. Walter, how are you today?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm just fascinated by all this stuff. What's it here for?
Well, I'm doing commercial photography, and I do a lot of foods and liquor shots.
How is it that you chose that to specialize in?
It's a very interesting thing, and I love foods. Foods have a wonderful shape, textures, and it's a challenge. It's very hard to photograph.
How much faking goes on in this type of photography?
Many years ago, there was a talk about a lot of faking, but right now I don't see any. We really follow right through. We do not use any other foods, but the foods we're photographing.
Let's just try to recreate one then, okay?
Certainly.
Good.
Today we're going to be shooting a shot on United Fresh Fruit and Vegetables. I'd like to introduce you to Martha Wentz, our prop stylist.
Hi, Martha. How you doing?
Hi, Mike.
We're going to interrupt you a second to ask you, you have all these thousands of bowls and plates and props to choose from. Why are we going to use this plate and these flowers and things here?
Because of the subject of the food, the size, the texture, and the color.
All right. Walter, let's move on and find that food.
Fine. This is Jane Utes, the client and the food stylist.
Now, Jane, you work for a public relations firm. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'd shake your hand, but it looks like they're a little sticky.
It is today.
All right, what are we doing today?
This is for the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Association. It'll be a black and white shot that'll go out to newspaper food editors across the country.
You mentioned it's black and white. What do we have to look for here?
Well, we've really gone to all trouble to select, hand-select fruits and vegetables with the best color, because in black and white we really need a lot of contrast, and the pineapple, bananas, and orange really don't have a lot of contrast. best, but we go for the freshest.
So it's easy to show fruits and vegetables, things like this, in color, but it's much more difficult to show them in black and white.
It is a real art.
Okay, so what we've done is put together a beautiful presentation here.
This is a pineapple shell with fresh bananas, pineapple, oranges, and we'll be flambeing it in front of the camera.
So we'll put a flame to it and shoot it in front of Walter's camera.
That's right.
All right, Walter, let's do that.
Okay.
Walter, you've already got your lights set, and you've got the backdrop up. Why did you choose this color?
Well, we have a flaming shot, and the fruits are very light, so we want the contrast of this dark background.
Okay, let's get the food and the props on the set.
Fine.
Oh, that looks very nice.
Martha, I think this tray could swivel around a little, so we'll be coming in on the pineapple head on.
And then I'll have to rearrange the flowers.
That's very attractive.
Thank you, girls.
Walter, now that the prop folks have put this stuff here, let's look at it with a photographer's eye. Composition.
Well, there's a few things to do on this yet. I would move this around a little more so I get a little more depth. And I bring these flowers around to kill a little at the bottom. And also these flowers so they break against the dish.
Walter, we've got some beautiful colors here, but we're not going to see the colors because it'll be black and white. Is it difficult to make things look good in black and white?
Very difficult. Color will carry it, but black and white photography is a different ball game.
Is there a danger that some of the stuff can just fade into the background?
That's right, and that's where lighting comes in. Lighting, you start casting shadows, you draw shape, and you bring out the texture of all your foods.
Just how important is lighting?
I would say almost 50% of a photograph in black and white.
So you think lighting is important, Walter. What are we going to use to light it with?
Well, on this shot, since it's a flaming shot, I have to use a real good contrast lighting. I'm starting off with a 1,000-watt pan.
Okay.
And then I will have a 500-watt fill-in and 2 baby spots.
All right, well, let's light it. This sounds great.
First, we'll be starting with our main light. I'll turn it on. Now, this has to be in the right position to get the main light that every shape that you want to show is there. That's approximately it. It gives the best shape and shadows. Then my fill-in light is on, and I'll bring my 2 little baby spots. I'll turn mine on first, Mike, and say, see now this baby spot, if you notice, gives me shape in all the flowers and starts making the pineapple look round. And you got shapes and highlights in the flowers. Now, Mike, if you turn yours on, all right, can you bring it to the back more? See, now you're getting more roundness in this, and you're opening up your shadow areas. You're also getting more relief around your flowers, so they'll come off the background.
Walter, I'd say that looks pretty good.
It's just about ready to go.
Are any products any more difficult to shoot?
Well, I would say rice, spaghetti, because they're translucent. And when you put them all together, you have to try and light it, and you have to be very careful because the light goes through them.
Well, fortunately, we're not shooting rice or spaghetti. What do you say we shoot this one?
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff, bring the camera.
Well, that's a nice big camera, isn't it?
It's an A10 Ditto. Okay, Jeff, will you bring the brandy for the flames?
Let me get out of your light here. You can frame it up.
Okay, we're just about ready. Okay. Jeff, pour the brandy. Light it. Shoot.
Walter, one of the best things about this job is making food look good, but one of the very best things is...
Eating it.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Walter.